Hey, this is Louis D. Fresh bringing it to you on a Wednesday morning. I hope you're doing well. Today what we're going to do is, I know I'm kind of weird in this way, that I do remember, things that I want to follow up on, even if it's like a year later. Let me give you a little background on this little particular fish tank, and trying to stay out of the sun, but to be in the sun at the same time. I left my sunglasses upstairs. So, I have a 20-gallon long. And this 20-gallon long originally, little background, can I give you the background, was a reptile tank. It was I had a lizard in there. I forgot the name of the type of lizard it was. I was hoping it would live because it can tolerate cold. Because, like I said, Florida people say, "Oh, it doesn't get cold." It gets chilly. It could go down to into the low 40s, upper 30s. I'm talking about Fahrenheit. So, it did all right for a while, but it fortunately it died. So then what I did, as the bird of paradise says hello to me, what I did is I then transformed it into a no filter fish tank in the same place where I'm going to show you right now. And I put guppies in there, and that just didn't work. And so eventually I figured out that, hey, I can put a sort of an extension cord. I may show it to you now. That can kind of go from where the electricity is to the fish tank, and then I put in some swordtails, and then those swordtails did well for a while, and then they eventually did die out. Why? I do not know. And this is the thing with fish tanks. You know, things happen. Remember, all my fish tanks are outside except the one in the office, which I showed you, the little beta tank, the little chili rasboras that are in my home office, and Bowser, the indoor turtle. Other than that, everything else is outside. And I have a couple other fish tanks I got to show you. I think I'm done now with fish tanks, but the grand total number is 12. But I'm talking about this one. And so, as I was saying, then what I tried to do is I transformed it into a shrimp tank. And they're so small, I couldn't see them, and my eyesight is not the best in the world. So, I said, I need something else to kind of put in there. And then if you remember, I got the water hyacinth. The hot water hyacinth was gorgeous, but it was sucking the life out of the tank. And I was like, ugh. So then what I did is I kept the shrimp in there, and so I wanted some movement. And so then I put in some mollies and some gold dust mollies, and they were doing all right, and with the shrimp. And then one day they realized, the gold dust mollies, hey, I can eat these shrimp, and then the shrimp were gone. And then I said, this is just ridiculous. Then the gold dust mollies started dying out. I wasn't quite sure. Remember, everything's outside. They get rain. They get everything else. Then I discovered, hey, these black mollies, they do all right in this. And I said, I gotta try something. Now, that is a 3-minute and 11-second recap on this fish tank. That's what I'm saying. Like, fish tanks, no fish tank now. No, you're like, oh, everything is. There are no two fish tanks alike. There's no two ways of doing things. Things sometimes are just different. They're different. And I wanted to share it right now, because the sun, as you see, is starting to hit my face. This is the time of the year that because the earth shifts. And so this is the time of the year that I get the best view of this fish tank. And so I wanted to share it with you. So this seems to be and I'm sitting here right on top of the fish tank. This is not a sexy fish tank. It's not. You can see the plants, right? And I've noticed that 90% of my plants in all my fish tanks are this. This is also Elodia. It's also known as Anacris. I do have some hornwort in here, but this is what works. This is the thing that works. It's a floating plant. Every other week, I take out all the plants, and I trim off the ends, anything that might be kind of like, dying off or whatever. I just did a trimming on Friday night, and I wanted to share this tank now, and this water right now, the temperature right now, I'm sweating. It's got to be in the mid, about 85 to 90 Fahrenheit. This water is This water is a soup. It's a total soup. You can see the sun is right there. Oh, wherever it went. It is a total soup in here. And this is the extension cord I'm talking about. That I figured out. And that's how I also put a heater in here. That they like the warm weather. And so they're the ones that are thriving. This is the finished product. I don't think I'm going to be adding anything else. I don't think I'm adding any more plants. I'm just going to be like, I'm going to let it ride. This is famous last words, but I think this is going to be it. And you'll see already I do have some breeding going on. You see a little baby right there. I may not have too much breeding because of the heat, but I wanted to share this with you. Same filter. This is something I also include in my rice fish. This is a mesh bag that in here is crushed coral to make the water harder, more alkaline. I also throw in some aquarium salts. You don't need aquarium salt. It could be kosher salts because it's the same ingredients. But they do definitely thrive on hot water, warm water. So I you know, like I said, if in a perfect world, you should have your fish indoors because you have better control of the temperature, you have better control of the lighting, better control of all this stuff. But since I do have my fish outside, I have learned that I got to do what I got to do. And so I learned that they definitely like the hot water. They definitely like the hard water. And they definitely like all this plants. You see, with this, you see there is some algae here, but the algae does get you see, right? The algae does get eaten by these guys, the majority of it. So I just recently found that out, that they are algae eating as well as regular. They're omnivores. They definitely like their brine shrimp. They definitely like their flakes. They definitely like worms. So they are definitely omnivores. But I really wanted to show this is the finished product of this tank. It should be. I went from a reptile lizard tank. It went to a guppy filterless tank, to a filtered swordtail tank, to a shrimp tank, to a water hyacinth tank, to a gold dust black molly tank, and now to a black molly tank. So sometimes things evolve, and this is what it has evolved into. And I wanted to give you an update on this because I know that this was a tank that has been quite a struggle. It really has, and I always like to be authentic. I don't want you to think, oh wow, Louis D Fresh got it. He know what he doing. I do struggle. I really do, because especially being outside, fish can definitely be much more sensitive. And like I said, I do put a heater right here in the wintertime, and I do make it warm. I try to put it 78 to 80 degrees. Even if it's 40 degrees out, I want to make sure this is a warm tank. And so that's what we got. I want you to enjoy it. I definitely enjoy this tank. This is the time of the year I most enjoy this tank because, like I said, when there is shade, you see like a little bit. Oh no, I can't. You see when there's shade, you don't see them as much. I see my hand over it, you know, so you don't see them as much. But right now, this is prime time. This is prime viewing. And so you see, even when I put my hand there, they're like, aha, this guy's gonna feed us. So like I said, it's not a sexy fish tank. It's not, you know, the aquascape is just floating plants. But the reality is, it works. And I just wanted to share that with you. I mean, this tank really, and I'm telling you, this water has to be 90 degrees Fahrenheit. I mean, with the sun beating on it, it has to be 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So it works. So that's all I got. I'll let you enjoy it for a second as I enjoy it. I'm sitting here enjoying the little aquascape, enjoying the black mollies. There's a bunch of black mollies in here. Louis D Fresh.